So for the heater core, I think I've come up with a solution. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the fittings off of the heater core that come through the firewall, shorten them, and then I'm going to basically mount the heater core in place without the blower fan motor so that I have room. So it's got to be done in steps. Then I'm going to solder in an elbow so that it will go towards the passenger side of the vehicle a little bit, and then solder in the elbow, a piece of pipe, and then this fitting here, which is a solder fitting to MPT. So basically it's going to be kind of like this, but the length here is going to be however long I decide to make it. That way I can thread in this fitting, which is an MPT to, I think I have a 3/4 and a 5/8 based on the supply line size coming off of the water pump. And then pipe dope that, Teflon tape it, whatever, and thread that in to make the connections for the heater core. What I don't like about this method is that I put a lot of thought into this, because basically once these elbows and this modification is in, you will no longer be able to take the heater core out unless you basically cut the lines. But thinking about it, like long term, way down the road, if the heater core were to ever fail, leak, or get clogged up, or whatever happens to heater cores over time, which is hopefully many years down the road, you basically have to replace it anyway, so cutting it out shouldn't be a problem. So I think this is the solution I'm going to go with. Just going to have to be careful with how I braze, solder, whatever, so that I don't melt the housing or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to do, I think. So I'm going to be making up a bunch of measurements so that I can make sure everything's where I want it to be. Drill the holes through the firewall, temporarily mount the box in the heater core, and then solder it in. So let's take you over there one more time just to show you the other problem that I might have to address here later. So that's kind of my template where the lines are going to come out. With the heater core being in this general area, this brace here might be a problem. Now it's skewed to one side because you can kind of see that it's not necessarily centered, and I believe that is because that gives you more room in this general area here for your gauges. So this here brace I might have to cut out and either relocate or relocate and modify. Instead of being straight up like this, might move it over here since the gauges will be almost straight up and down here. Probably going to kind of follow this contour here. You can see it's kind of kicked back a little bit. So the gauges will come down here, so there might be some room. We don't know yet, but this brace right here is in question at the moment once the heater core is mounted up. So start taking some measurements and let's do this. definitely committed at this point. We've drilled the holes for the water lines, put the template back up and lined everything up, and I still have to cut the big hole so that it'll get air, and this is what I got so far. So these holes here drilled, marked and laid up. Got to cut this out and drill the 6 holes to mount the box. So I need to figure out what I'm going to use to cut that out because it's aluminum. Probably use the same hole saw and drill, or maybe a smaller hole saw. I think I might have a smaller one, I don't know, I have to look. But probably drill 4 holes and then connect them and get that piece out. So I made a rookie mistake. Forgot to hit the record button while I was cutting this out, but I got it mostly in, or at least mostly cut out. This is what we got so far. There's aluminum everywhere. Both the holes here, the inlet. So I'm going to probably mount it up and take a look, see how everything looks. Probably oversize these holes a little bit and see where I want to cut these, because I want one to come in shorter, one to come in longer, or something to that effect, so that they're not like on top of each other at the same spot trying to make a connection. One's like shallow, one's whatever. I'll figure that out when I get there. Definitely no going back now. Got a big hole in my beautiful firewall, so keep pressing forward. Alright, so kind of have it mocked up so these line up really good, and just have 2 screws kind of holding it in. That's fitting pretty good. So this is my dilemma here. Cut and cut so that it'll clear the valve cover here. So what I'm thinking is maybe, because I'm wanting to run the water lines out this way here and then down towards the water pump, probably put in a control valve here for bypass and to feed water to the heater core, like 2 inlets, or yeah, inlet. It's a 4-way valve. I'll show you guys that in a little bit, but run this one, maybe cut it here, drop an elbow, cut this one close to the fitting, and then drop an elbow and have them kind of sitting like that maybe. Okay, so here's a problem that I think I need to address now while it's easy to get to. So this here goes in this area here, and you can see already this port here is going to be blocked by, and probably most of this port, by this brace here. So it kind of goes in there like that, and yeah, this one is blocked. The bottom one is free. So what I think I'm going to do, change camera angles here. I think I'm going to cut this brace out and reshape it. Probably cut it up here, grind it semi-flush, and cut it down here. See if I can find some stock of the same size or similar, and just reshape it so that it comes up kind of straight and then dog legs over, and then that should give me plenty of room, and keep this in the general location of where it's at. That way I have plenty of room over in this area here for all the gauges, and then I have room for that port to clear here. I think that's what I'm going to do, so I'm going to do that probably now before finishing mounting this up. Got it cut out, got it ground out, and got most of the powder coat stripped away from that general area there, so I can get a good ground. All with like basically an angle grinder, and it's literally like doing brain surgery with a angle grinder, trying not to hit too much stuff or whatever. Let's swing you around, show you what we got going here. So the brace was here at the bottom, up here at the top. We'll probably hit that with a flapper disc a little bit better to clear up some of that last bit of powder coating in that general area. And then up in here, got that ground out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece here. It's going to be probably two pieces, go straight up and then jog over. So that's my plan for right now. So this is the template I kind of made to mock up what's going to go in there. So this is kind of the shape I'm going up. The old piece used to kind of go this way to the dash crossbar. Now I'm going to go up and then jog over. This is the shape. I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about when we go take a look at it here. So it will go in there kind of like that. So I still got some room to fish anything through here if I need to, and it should be plenty strong because this is just kind of holding this in place a little bit. So now I need to cut out some steel and probably make it just a little bit big, I think, a little bit long here and at the bottom, so that I can sneak up on the fitment and get it in there nice. So let's cut some steel. Alright, after about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes of cutting, grinding, ready to tack it up. Let me show you what I got going on here. So it's not really a basic connection. It's, I don't know, I would say it's more of a complex connection. But let me flip the camera around and show you. So that's the template right there. This is the steel. So I kind of cut it so that this would cover that open hole in the back there, but that's the weld I'm going to go for. So it kind of goes like that. Is that overkill? Probably, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna play around with a couple scraps to get the welder set up and dialed in, so I don't blow through this stock, because it's fairly thin. It's like 18 gauge steel square tubing. So we play with that a bit and then weld that up quick. So now basically trim the ends to get it to fit nice and tight, and then I'll burn this in too. So I think the paint is dry enough that I can work in this area. Yeah, it's dry enough that I can start mounting the blocks, the heater core housing, and sweating in some fittings. So can finally get back to what I originally started on before I got sidetracked because of a fitment issue. Cool. Right, heater core went in. Have plenty of clearance now with the heater core water lines. I'll flip you around and show. So here, inlet outlet. This one matches the water pump 3/4, but this is probably going to get changed to 5/8 because right now with the LS bypass to supply water to the heater core, it would basically be supplying water all the time unless you put in a control valve, which is what this is. So when you don't want heater, this goes into a bypass, water in, water will come in, come right back out and go back to the water pump. When you want heat, the valve will toggle electrically, then allow water to go to the heater core and then come back and then go to the water pump. But what I'm having a problem with is where and how to mount this. So I think I'm gonna use these 3 screws here, take this thing apart and put in a plate so I can mount in this general area here. That'll give me a shot to the water on the water pump, and then a gradual bend to the heater core and kind of mount it in this place here with a plate. And probably put it like right there.